No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You've got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Good morning. How we doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome into a live edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. Our title sponsor is RowPaint.com, and this is a Jackson's Thursday here at Bronco Nation News. We got our man Johnny Ballgame. He is there in his RowPaint.com hat. And Johnny, it's Thursday. It's a Jackson's Thursday. Today's the day folks can go get their $2 hot dog and soda at Jackson's, thanks to the Broncos scoring 70 points on Tuesday. Big game tomorrow. A lot going on. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing well. What do we got? Thursday. Excited for my job, IST, later on today. We got good stuff planned, and then hop on with my main man, BJ Rains. Nice to get you from my house today. My house studio setup. Didn't have to run downtown today. We're getting started a little later down there. So good to catch up with you. Where are we going? Is this the official BJ Rains Mountain West Basketball Power Rankings edition number 1? People in the comments, I mean, we want the BJ Rains Power Rankings, especially after what happened last night. You know, BJ, you're one of the most powerful men in this conference. I've said that. You know this league better than anybody. People want those power rankings, and I'm excited to go wherever you take us today, man.
Johnny,
did you do it?
I wasn't going to do it, but
yes.
We'll see. We'll see. I may go into the pit tomorrow, man. I got to save myself. We'll see. But
they're going to kill you. I know these fans.
I will try. By the way, you pulled the fast one on people. You were on here commenting, asking who the co-host and stuff was, and it was yourself. So nice one there. We are. I believe we're going to have RJ Keane join us at the end of the show. Johnny working on that, but I believe RJ Keane via his NIL deal with Signature Roofing. I think he is going to join us at 9:30. So we are excited about that. But I mentioned today is a Jackson's Thursday, Johnny. Here's 20 seconds from our friends at Jackson.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
All right, thanks to Jackson's. And again, $2 hot dog, soda, banana today using the Let's Go Rewards app there at Jackson's. And I know Johnny will probably be hitting up Jackson's for a hot dog and a soda on his way down to his morning meeting today. I did have a little bit of a problem. You said my job. You're getting paid for this. This is part of your job too, Johnny, to do your BNN hits here. Come on.
Gosh, you caught that. I went right past my head.
It's not your full-time job. I get it. But
nice catch, boss man.
All right, the last couple nights in the Mountain West have been crazy. Boise State Tuesday night gets one of the most impressive wins in the Mountain West this season, winning by 41 over Wyoming. They got a nice, boost in some of their numbers and things, and they're feeling pretty good. 3 games in a row, they've played pretty well. Feel like they've, gave one away down there at Utah State. But overall, you feel like Boise State is trending, I think, in somewhat of a positive direction, Johnny. And then you look at the other 2 main contenders, at least at the top of the standings going into the week. Last night, or 2 nights ago, New Mexico goes to San Jose State, loses as about a 9-point favorite at the end of the game. And then last night, there was no fluke about that start to finish. It was a close game, back and forth. Give UNLV a ton of credit for those of you that stayed up till well past 11 o'clock last night to see the end of that game. UNLV takes down Utah State. So the 2 top teams in the league both lose on the road, in a span of about 24 hours, and shakes up the conference standings a little bit. Boise State now, just 1 game out of first place. Obviously, San Diego State, Colorado State. I think now UNLV all have 2 losses as well. But Boise State 1 game back, and one of the teams they're trailing, they'll go to see tomorrow night. Things got a little bit tighter here.
We'll see after these next 2 games where they sit in the standings. Some tough games coming up, as you know, BJ. Tough venues to go play in. You're flying down to Albuquerque when, I don't even know, today, probably tomorrow. So that's going to be legit. And then, like I heard Tuss saying it yesterday, I agree. I don't care what Colorado State's roster looks like. If you have to play there, you better pack a lunch. You have to play well. You can't just go there and go through the motions and get a road win in that venue. I could easily see Boise State going there, stubbing its toe, and playing in a back and forth game that goes down to the final possession. It's weird because after I saw UNLV with you last week, I thought, are you kidding me? Like, dude, Kruger has got to be in trouble. Here's another coach at UNLV that just can't get that sucker to pop. And then, I watched them last night thinking, oh, Utah State, they're only favored by like 5.5. Oh, okay, this should be kind of easy. They're taking control of this league. They don't play well. UNLV looks completely different from the team I saw at Extra Mile. Completely different. And then they beat them. They should have beat them last year, if you remember. I think it was the 5-point play Utah State was fortunate to get at that key moment, something along those lines. But Here's how I'm looking at it. Kind of your typical Mountain West. I know you're not going to get the national recognition this year because the Ken Palm numbers don't match up. But night in, night out in this league, whether it's a packed building like Logan or Albuquerque, or whether it's a stinking night sleep center mattress location like San Jose State or last night in Vegas. Thomas and Mack was empty last night. It's like some venues in this league will put your ass to sleep. Others, you just can't get your whereabouts because it's so loud. Tough league to play in, and it's shaping up, BJ, like a typical Mountain West this season. I'm going to still say top 3 teams get in and feel pretty good. 3rd team won't feel all that good if a random team wins the conference tournament. But I think Boise State's put itself in good position to just keep getting better, to do what they do and attack this schedule. And hopefully by the end of a 20-game conference season, you're 15-5, 16-4, 14-6. If you're in that range, BJ, maybe you have a shot. 14-6 scares me more than 15-5. You can be 15-5 in this league. I think you might have a shot with a decent showing in Vegas.
Well, I sent out a text to you and Tust, and maybe we should. I think we should charge Johnny to let like random people just join our text threads.
No,
or at least read our text maybe, because we get quite the sports discussion going. In the evenings watching some of these games and stuff. And I sent out a text to you guys saying last night at some point, does the regular season Mountain West champ, are they like pretty much, I mean, because obviously the quote unquote auto bid goes to the winner of the conference tournament. But if you win the regular season in the Mountain West this year, is that enough to guarantee yourself, regardless of record, regardless of Ken Pom, regardless of net, if you win the regular season title in the Mountain West, does that put you in the NCAA tournament? Because Boise State, certainly, Johnny, is now one game back, and you could just say, hey, don't worry about the numbers, don't worry about the Ken Pom, don't worry about the quad wins. Find a way to win this regular season title, and you're going to get in. Do you put any merit into that? Is this? I know the league's lost some. It's not quite as good this year. I get it. Last year, 6 teams. You're right. Maybe 2, maybe 3. But if do you just throw all that out the window? If you can, is your goal just find a way to win this league, and you're going dancing?
Yeah. I mean, the only team, and you guys can fact check me on that and on this, but the only major conference champion I remember winning the league in the regular season, stubbing its toe in the conference tournament and not getting in, was the Washington Huskies with Lorenzo Romar, I want to say 13 or 14. They won the Pac-12 that year. It was the worst year in Pac history. Washington won the regular season. They lost to Oregon State in the opening round of the Pac-12 tournament, and they didn't get in. And people were, I was pissed off as a Husky fan. Like, what? We won that league and we're not getting in? I think the Mountain West, though, is one of those leagues. I think if you win that league in a 20-game conference schedule, I would think the committee kind of looks at that and just kind of goes and circles that team. Okay, they're in. That's how I would look at it. This league, how tough it is, I don't know why people don't want to just buy into that. And I know Leon says it all the time, and maybe it gets exhausting, but I get it. I talk to coaches in this league like you do, how tough it is to go win in other people's buildings. PJ, I think you'd agree with this. There is no greater home field court advantage than men's college basketball at the highest levels in this country. I don't care what type of football stadium with 110,000 screaming fans. For me, it's college basketball. You just don't win in some of these buildings because of the atmosphere, BJ, and hopefully that gets taken into consideration on this. But heck yeah, I think if you win this league, and that's the goal of this team, hey, we win this league, we're going to feel really good on Selection Sunday. And heck, if you win the league, you got to feel pretty good about your chances in the conference tournament, at least not to embarrass yourself. I know we love talking NCAA tournament, and I'm the leader of that conversation. I'll talk March Madness in November with you and bids and who's going to steal what. But, it's almost like kind of enjoy the journey here for me with this team, because there are so many different boxes that need to be checked to put this thing into a position every single night. And there's stuff they got to clean up. They look great one night, and then they don't the next. And I know a lot of Mountain West teams have that problem too, but the best teams in the league have that problem a lot less, BJ. And that's where Boise State needs to figure this thing out and, heck, go to the pit and have a good showing.
Yeah. By the way, that Jackson's commercial we played earlier, someone's saying, who was the dude with the long hair in that video?
Nice.
They record those promos and then he cuts his hair. Jackson's needs a refund or something on that NIL deal. Come on, Andrew Meadow. But you're right. And by the way, here's the league standings. I'll put those on the screen here. Best Buy is getting a free plug, it looks like, thanks to CBS Sports Network's ad there. But Utah State 6-1, New Mexico 6-1, and then there's Boise State. Right behind them, 5-2. You look over on the net rankings over on the right as well, Johnny. New Mexico sitting there at 61, Boise State 44, San Diego State 40, Utah State 39. So they've still got, 5 top 70 teams when you throw in Nevada. Still have 4, top 45 teams, but they don't have the teams in the 20s and 30, as many in the 30s that they did last year. So overall, the league's not as good. That obviously could impact things. But New Mexico, Utah State right there at the top, and Boise State, like I said, one of the teams ahead of you. You get a chance tomorrow night for a marquee win. And you're right, Johnny. And I don't say this to gloat, whatever, but I've been to literally every Mountain West venue during my time covering the team. And I, went to a Big 12 school and went to a lot of the venues in the Big 12 over the years. Like, I see what home court advantage all about, being a graduate of Kansas. Like, it's 8-on-5 sometimes. I get it. But you know what? Like, you're right, man. Like, in Utah State, like, and home court and refs versus they, got screwed or whatever is two totally different things. Like, you just kind of accept it, don't you? The home team usually takes a few more free throws. things. I mean, when you're at home, you think you probably
Yeah.
get an advantage like that. It's
I mean,
just
that's
the way
been going on in basketball for what, 80 years, home cooking.
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason there's all those cliches. Yeah.
Now, I know some Boise State fans would argue they don't get that kind of advantage at Extra Mile Arena, but I will say, like, you go watch that game in Logan, like, you know, that had an impact. Being the home team was a huge deal in that Boise State game in Logan the other day. And some of these games matter, and it goes the other way too, Johnny. Like you mentioned UNLV having nobody at that game, and New Mexico losing at San Jose where they had nobody at that game. So I would say the Mountain West is an amazing conference to cover and go visit some of these venues, and it's so much fun to go to Viejas and the Pit and some of these. But I think the contrast too, where you can have 4 or 5 venues where it's sold out and rocking and packed every single game, and then 3 or 4 venues where it's literally empty. Fresno, Air Force.
The Save Mart Center. I was going to say Fresno. I've never been in that building when it's had any type of vibe, BJ, in Fresno. Men and certainly women's games.
Oh, I can't imagine a women's game at the Save Mart Center.
That was the game where the player actually told me to shut up because you could hear me. It's like I'm calling radio games for the Idaho Vandal women at some of these venues, and it's like I'm broadcasting the entire game for the whole arena because there's, bless their heart, there's 77 people in a 7,000-seat arena, and you're just kind of like, I hope everybody's listening on the radio here, but no, some of these buildings are like that. You're exactly right. Imagine if, like, Logan, Utah, and that atmosphere was in, like the ACC or something. Jay Billis would be there every stinking night calling these games for the big game. Can you imagine? Like, imagine if Duke did what they do in Logan. Imagine how much it would be magnified. Most sports fans, they don't even know what happened with that crowd in Logan, and they don't care. Well, they haven't seen it. If that exact crowd is wearing Michigan jerseys, and that's in Ann Arbor, it's the coolest thing anybody's ever seen. But it's kind of like, for whatever reason, this elitist college sports attitude of, well, if it's in the Mountain West, it's just not as good. You know, and I just don't care. That venue was insane. Yeah, if that was in the ACC, Jay Billis, Dick Vitale would have been there 25 years ago screaming his ass off. Like, that was sweet, dude. And the Mountain West has a couple of those venues, and you're right, they have the total antithesis of that. It's like an AAU tournament. People just walking around, nobody's there in San Jose, and you're like, so we're playing right now? It's just a weird dynamic, and that's why I think you said it. San Jose State will pick off one team a year in that building that they have no business beating. They always do it. So we see that in this league, and you do a good job covering it, BJ. I know the viewers here appreciate it, and it's not as spicy as last year, but it's still going to be really competitive.
Yeah, but one more thing I wanted to say just about the crowds and stuff. But I mean, I think every venue is unique in its own way. Like Wyoming's another one you throw in there. It's hard to get to. Usually not a big crowd, probably at Wyoming either. But I don't know, Johnny. I mean, we don't track all these other conferences, but just the disparity of sold out rockin' venues one night versus just empty ghost town arenas the other night. I don't know if there's a conference that has as much of a delta, you know, or as much how wide of a difference it is. I mean, I saw like New Mexico.
No way.
New Mexico, I think, had 3 road games in a row to get at like the 3 smallest arenas or whatever. So they're going from packed house at the Pit, nobody on the road. Packed house at the Pit, nobody sleeper on the road. They did it like 3 times in a row, and whether that contributed to their loss, I don't know. But Utah State, they're at this home game, places rocking, packed crowd. And I think you sent me a text. I was getting the kids to bed or something and hadn't quite turned the game on yet, and they must have just flipped it over from the previous game or something. And you said, man, there is nobody at the Thomas and Mack Center tonight or something, which surprised me a little bit, but it is an 8 p.m. game on a weeknight in Vegas, whatever. But
ranked team. You're right. Surprised me a little bit. But
so my point is, like, dude, nothing is a sure thing in this conference. Like, Nevada was hosting Air Force the other night, and they were down by 4 with 3 minutes to go. They came back and won the game. But, like, I don't care who you're playing the rest of the season. And this season, Johnny, maybe even more crazy than ever, just because there's not as many dominant teams. And I do think some of the quote unquote bad teams can have good nights. They're just not as consistent, you know, like an OB Agbum can go have 30 points for Wyoming and they'll beat somebody. Like I would say if you're a fan of a Mountain West team, I don't care if it's Boise State. I don't care if it's whoever, one of these top 4 or 5 teams that wants to win the league. You should have 0 games, 0, where you go into that game saying, oh, that's an easy win. I mean, I think it is. I think every game is upset alert. You got to be locked in every game. And I know tomorrow night, that's not what we're talking about here. It's obviously a massive game that we'll get to in a minute. But just in general, this league, this year, I think what you saw the last 2 nights, Johnny, you're going to keep seeing, man. We already saw Nevada, who, again, not sure if they're actually any good, but they went and lost at Wyoming. We've seen San Jose pick somebody off at home. We've now seen UNLV pick somebody off at home. Fresno's played a couple tight games. They didn't end up winning. I don't care where you're playing, home, road, who you're playing. I think every game you got to go into that thinking this is going to be a 40-minute dogfight this year.
And this year, too, think about it. You're going to have those mid-level teams that more so think they have a shot to have 3 good days in Vegas in mid-March. It's not going to be like past years where maybe everybody's looking at 2-3 teams saying there's just no way one of those 3 teams is going to go. You might have some eager coaches and players to say, hey, let's go on a run in this thing. Maybe that's the case. And I think what's going to go on this year too, it's like, excuse me, in a basketball season, once you kind of hit that point where it's like, okay, we're probably going to the dance. Every team goes to that point. Like, hey, if we do what we're doing and we play and we dodge any major catastrophes, we're going dancing. So what we need to do right now the rest of the way is improve our seed. We want to get the best line we can, and that's what coaches do to teams, in Kansas. It's not, hey, let's make the tournament. It's, hey, let's set ourselves up for the best possible situation. Mark Few's making sure, hey, there's 2 locations this year for the first round. If it's Spokane and Sacramento, we want one of these 2. We need to earn that by winning games. This year in the Mountain West, I think maybe more so, you're not going to care about seed line and what. You're just going to want to get in. Like, I would imagine at least 1 Mountain West team, at least. If 3 make it, dude, one of those teams is going to Dayton. Just is what it is.
I mean, if you're Boise State right now,
yes, I'll say it right now.
Right now, they said
Boise State will play in
Dayton.
Boise State's going to go to Dayton again. They are. They'll be the 3rd team in the Mountain West. They'll do what they need to do, and they're going to get sent to Dayton, and they should put Leon Rice's logo on that floor, have a little signature or something.
But right now? Wouldn't you take that right now? I mean, right now they're on the outside looking in. Right now, if they said you can go, but you got to go to Dayton, Boise State would take that.
Yes. And you know what? What's the best way for Tyson Degenhart to get a tournament win? Is at Dayton, at least to get that and get the ball rolling again. Cart before the horse. That's in 2 months. But, there's going to be a Mountain West team in Dayton, I would think. If you're getting 3 bids in, one of those teams is going to be a first 4 team.
Hey, our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. We appreciate Andy Rowe and company. Hit them up for all your painting needs, those concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. TacoBellWorks.com. They are hiring the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. You can get more information online at TacoBellWorks.com. And food's pretty darn good as well. Those $7 Lux Cravings Bowls, the Cantina Bowls, all the great stuff they have there. So online, TacoBellWorks.com. Get more information. They've donated $400,000 to student-athlete scholarships at Boise State. SON Management, the Nicolason family, we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. ICCU.com, Idaho Central Credit Union. Branch pretty much on every corner with the easiest, that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. They've got card control now as well. So if you temporarily lose your debit card, you can go on your app, turn it off, for momentarily so you don't have to cancel it and then have to deal with getting new cards and everything. So just so many small things like that they can do for you. Check them out online, ICCU.com. I mentioned today's the day. $2 hot dog and fountain drink. You get a banana as well. You got to use your Let's Go Rewards app. But $2 hot dog and fountain drink with your Let's Go Rewards app. When the Broncos score 70, they did that on Tuesday. So that means today is the day on a Thursday that you can take advantage of that. So head on in and even tell the clerk you heard about it on Bronco Nation News. Let them know where they're getting their business from. $2 hot dog, fountain drink, and banana with Let's Go Rewards today at Jackson's, a Treasure Valley Jackson's location. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, thespateam.com. Whether it's a pool table, a sauna, a spa, they got you covered. They're part of the Boise State home team. They've been around since 1978. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Check them out online at thespateam.com. They've still got that Fiesta Bowl gear. The blueandorange.com has you covered. The Fiesta Bowl gear at the Blue and Orange store is half off, Johnny. 50% off. If you're looking for some of that gear, I know the game didn't go too well, but still a lot to commemorate there with the season. 50% off Fiesta Bowl gear. You can get that online at the Blue and Orange store and the Blue and Orange store. All right, Johnny, we got a couple minutes before we get to our man RJ Keene here. Yes, RJ Keene, courtesy of Signature Roofing, is going to join us here in about 5 minutes. The game Friday, man, it's obviously a massive game. We'll wait and see when the spread comes out. I think Ken Palm has it as like a 2-point game tomorrow night at the Pit. It's one of my favorite venues in the Mountain West to go to. It's a different kind of venue. The students maybe don't have the chants and the cheers as a Utah State has, but I think from an overall noise standpoint, like a random defensive possession when the score is 14-8, I think they're as loud as anybody in the league. It's obviously the biggest venue in the league, I believe. I think it's bigger than Viejas. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I mean, it seats 4,000 or 5,000 more than the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. It's 15,000 plus. So it's a massive arena, and I'm a Michael Buffer guy. They got Michael Buffer on video. See, Johnny, Michael Buffer came in, I believe, they had a boxing match at the Pit way back in the day. Do you know this story? Okay. So they had a boxing match at the Pit way back in the day. Michael Buffer came out and did his Let's Get Ready to Rumble for the boxing match. And he said, for all the people around the world and those right here in Albuquerque at the Pit, and so they play that video right before tip-off. They play Jock Jam's Let's Get Ready to Rumble just like Boise State does, but they've got a video of Michael Buffer saying, "Welcome to the Pit, let's get ready to rumble," and then the song goes on, and then they start the game. But I love going to the Pit. Boise State has actually played pretty well down there, all-time 4-8, Johnny, which you may laugh at, but 4-8 at the Pit is actually not that bad. They got that big win last year when Max Rice went off, but I don't want to quite say playing with house money. Like, they obviously need the win. It's a huge win, but I don't know how many people are expecting them to go down there and win or say it'll be a terrible loss if they lose. But just your thoughts on the opportunity tomorrow night where they got a chance, as I said, to tie with New Mexico in the standings and get a quad 1 win, which they don't have a lot of chances left. I mean, it's obviously a massive game, and I think Boise State, as I said, has played pretty well the last 3 games and probably is going down there feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, it's the wiggle room. No, this is not a must win or, oh my God, if you lost, you're on life support. No, dude, it's just a big game in the league. We got 2 months left in this thing. And I know Boise State fan, and I'm not destroying you guys, but I know you're going to go crazy on BJ if they lose. Like, they lost a close game in Logan in that atmosphere. And I'm watching BJ's postgame show, and I swear it's like they got their ass kicked by College of Idaho in Caldwell or something. I couldn't believe it. Like, dude, they played their ass off. They almost won shit. Anyway, it's just a tough game. And if you lose, you don't have the wiggle room. What do we say? What wins this league? 16-4, right? Probably, BJ. I mean, yeah. Utah State, everybody's got 2 losses. What wins this league? That's what I want to know. Is it 15-5 this year? Okay. So if Boise State loses this game, they're 5-3 in the league, and they got to find a way to finish 10-2, right? If they win this game, well, good for them. They got to find a way to finish 9-4. It's not that big of a difference. Now, you answer this question for me. Last time, Boise State's been at an awesome venue like that and just got completely destroyed. Feels to me like more often than not, at least in the Degenhart era, they come to these buildings and these atmospheres, and people will act like they don't care about Boise State basketball. I say bullcrap. I see them on the road in these venues, and these fans are real excited, damn happy to kick Boise State's ass or get on their players. Boise State, oddly, is one of the teams in this league where I see fans like, oh, Boise State's in town, let's go to this game, at least in some of the big venues, and it feels like they play pretty well in this atmosphere. Not saying they'll win or not, but I don't think they're going to go in there and say, oh man, and get knocked out by the first media timeout. You tell me. It doesn't feel like that happens all that much with this program. They usually play pretty well in the big games, don't win them all, but a lot of times it's not like we're turning the game off at halftime, is it?
No, I agree. I would say the one time I can remember was a couple years ago when Marcus Shaver Jr. was hurt and they had to play at San Diego State without Shaver, and RJ Smith was hurt, and it was a back-to-back road trip, and they didn't.
Whiting in the backcourt. Whiting in the backcourt, right?
They couldn't get the ball. You're right for the most part, but I will say this, Johnny, like, do you know any idea the last 9 times, and you can read this in Nathan Carroll's article, you got to sit by him at the game the other night. I'm posting this to BroncoNationNews.com shortly, but in the last 9 times Boise State has played New Mexico, home, road, conference tournament, last 9 times they've played. Any idea what the record is for Boise State?
6-3?
7-2.
Okay.
Boise State is 7-2 the last 9 times they've played New Mexico, and there's been a couple decent New Mexico teams in there. A team that won the conference tournament last year. So I mentioned 4-8 at the pit, but 7 of their last 9, Boise State has found a way to beat New Mexico. They've played pretty well against New Mexico. They've played pretty well at the pit. So fired up to get down there and to see this game tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got a couple of quick sponsors I want to thank, and then RJ Keane is dialed in and ready to join us here, Johnny, momentarily. RJ Keane, courtesy of Signature Roofing. But Lithia Ford of Boise, they got 6 NIL deals themselves with student athletes at Boise State. Check out lithiafordboise.com. They're offering great value right now for your trade. And they got those 4-wheel drive vehicles, the all-wheel drive vehicles. The weather's getting icy, snowy. Make sure you have a vehicle equipped for the Idaho winter. And you can view their full inventory of vehicles. Do your research ahead of time online at lithiafordboise.com. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. When you buy a home or sell a home with Matt and his team, you get to meet everybody in the picture right there. The personalized service and attention. Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. Check him out online. He's now part of the Boise State home team, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley for a reason. We pick our Matt Bauscher player of the game every week, every game on the post-game show, and we'll find that out tomorrow night from Albuquerque. But again, we appreciate Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. Also appreciate Mark Ridley, Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com, 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Ridley's Family Markets. Download that Skip app, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. But you walk into a Ridley's and it just feels like home in there. Great atmosphere, great friendly environment, and we appreciate the folks at Ridley's Family Markets. You looking for a job? How about transportation compliance service? Check them out online, transcomservice.com. All the DOT overweight permits, everything you need to get into the trucking industry. They can help you out. Maybe you've never thought of the trucking industry as a career for you, but you should. Check them out online at transcomservice.com. Lean Feast Meridian. They're feeding Tyson Degenhart. They're feeding the Raines family, the football team, basketball team, 10,000 plus combinations, healthy eating options. I'm down, Johnny. I hit the scale, man. We're over the 30-pound mark now, so I'm coming for you. 30 pounds down thanks to Lean Feast and a lot of other things. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out and checking out Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. You will not be disappointed there as well. And we'll take your voicemails. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. If you have a voicemail, we would love to have that, whether it's a thought on the game, the Mountain West standings, anything else on your mind. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. And you can leave that at speakpipe.com/BNN, speakpipe.com/BNN. And Signature Roofing, they've been covering our community, Johnny, for more than 20 years. MySignatureRoofing.com is their website, whether it's a repair, a re-roof, an inspection, an estimate. They got you covered at Signature Roofing, and they are helping us bring on our next guest here from Signature Roofing, our man RJ Keane, courtesy of Signature Roofing. As I said, he's got the hoodie. I never got my stuff, by the way. You got all your stuff, it looks like.
I have it for you.
Okay, thank you. Johnny, They took us on a shopping spree. This is how cool Signature Roofing is. They took me and RJ to Shields and let us pick out whatever we wanted, and they were going to go put the Signature Roofing logo on it. And I got a couple nice things, which I hate to say it, though, Keene, I've lost some weight since then, so they may be too big now. We'll have to see. But
yeah, some of the stuff they couldn't put the logo on because it was like too thin, but I got some stuff for you too.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, I was about to get on Joel and Watson, those guys, for keeping my gear, but good to know. Appreciate it. And RJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, thanks for having me. Pretty excited.
How's the nose?
Yeah. Nose is getting better. I mean, my voice is a little different. Can't really taste stuff anymore. And I mean, I smashed it, double broke. I mean, I'll be fine. The mask doesn't look too pretty. I thought it was going to look a little cooler. Brian King, I think, said on the announcing that it looks like a Batman and a penguin. And, yeah, I don't mind it, but it's
dude, own it.
I know. I am. I'm not ashamed of it at all. It adds an element of toughness, I would say.
Yes.
Did you know? I mean, I don't know if you've ever done something like that before, but in terms of a broken nose specifically, I mean, I assume it was. You knew right away it was something was wrong.
Yeah, in the San Diego State game, I got hit and I got called for a foul. Don't know how. I actually talked to the ref who actually called a foul during our Wyoming game, and for the first 5 seconds, I'm like, whoa, my eyes started watering, and then I was walking the bench. I got really lightheaded, and Burns was about to yell at me for fouling the guy, and then he goes, "Keene, your nose is busted." And I'm like, yeah, dude, I need to go to the locker room. Went to the locker room. I was bleeding for the last 15 minutes and then just put some stuff in my nose. And I want to go watch our guys finish the game. Happens.
I love it, man. I love
Wow.
it.
But then you just missed the one game. That was only because they didn't have the mask in yet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the UNLV game because the mask came in the next day. And I missed kind of like 3 days to practice that week.
How's this thing going, RJ? I'll jump in here. All the different starting lineups. You guys had 10 players get in before halftime. That's got to be fun, I think, for the guys on the team. You've been on this team for several years, and some nights you know you're going to play. Other nights you've suited up in this program, and you're thinking, okay, I might get in if we're up or down by a certain amount of point at the end of the game. But now it's like everybody, you don't know when you're going to come in. I mean, I feel like your head has to be on a swivel on this thing. What's that like being on a team where, hey, 10, 11 guys might play in a game where whether it's close or not?
Yeah, you never know when it's going to be your night now. We're pretty deep now. I think we're almost something like 11-man rotation now, and that's probably the deepest ever in Leon's history. Has to be conference play. There's no way he's ever played 11 guys. But we're very talented, and he's just still trying to figure out the 5 guys that flow the best in the game. I mean, he's going to put you out there, and then if you play good, he's going to keep you out there. And that's the main factor of go out there and help the team win and understand the game plan. Like, our coaches doing a really good job on the game plan. I mean, UNLV last night used our game plan against Utah State, like exactly. They're running our plays. I was FaceTiming Alvaro and Tyson during the game. Like, bro, that's really the plays we were running.
Wow.
And yeah, they do a great job on everything. And it's just having like fun, understanding like one night it could be your night and one night couldn't, but that's not going to ruin your season. Just staying locked in and ready, bringing joy and positivity to practice every day, and just having fun. I mean, it's all about having fun at the end of the day. And I mean, I love it.
I was gonna say, do you you had the starting spot and you're getting some more minutes and then you break your nose? I mean, how disappointing, I guess, was that to obviously kind of lose your starting spot based on an injury? And how do you try to work to continue to get minutes and maybe get that spot back?
Yeah, it kind of stinks. I mean, now I really have to it sucks at an injury. I have to fight back for my minutes to get back in the rotation, but that's just hoops. And there's always a next man up, and Lockett and Jules have been shooting the ball really well. And I mean, I'll give it to them. If they're helping the team win, they're going to help the team win. And I bring a different aspect to the game. And I think that not starting is not bad in college basketball. I think I can impact the game differently. And I think we're like 5-1 with me in the starting lineup, but I mean, I didn't finish the San Diego State game. But understanding that it's not about that and how I can help the team win, it's most important for me.
You know, I think you could be one of the best 3-and-D guys in this league, RJ, but and I've heard you in your shooting and your exploits. You're a dead-eye shooter, and I think it's just about finding your game rhythm in shooting. And where are you in that regard? Like, I need RJ Keane shooting like 38 to 40% from downtown here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if I was shooting probably like 40% right now, I'd be playing probably 35 to 40 minutes a game.
Agree.
No doubt about that. I mean, I think I'm shooting like 20 right now, but those shots they're going to fall. I mean, I hit one against Wyoming, and I got recruited here to be a shooter. I shoot every day with Lex, and then we track like our 100 makes. I think I went 100 for 115, 87% yesterday.
Damn.
And just understanding like it's going to come to me, because I mean, like, that wasn't my role when I was in the starting lineup. I don't really want to like exploit, but when I'm open, I got to make it. And
yep.
Like, I came in there to rebound, assist, do the little stuff, and then now I got to function in that, like, oh, I got to come in and knock this shot down too, and I have to crash the glass. Like, I have to put all those pieces together. It's like a skill. Having that grittiness and toughness to go do everything is a skill. Like, not a lot of people have that, and that's why people struggle with rebounding offensively and shooting, because your mind just running around, and you got to stay locked in and be like, oh, snap that off and knock it in. And Leon's been instilling a little bit of trust in me, and I'm gonna knock him down in conference play.
Max says that Clemson shot was unreal. Mark says nice 3 against Wyoming. So yeah, you were in a tough spot there because you're trying to get yours, but I know you guys would love to get Brennan Ramirez a shot at some point too.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him on the back cut, but he didn't cut hard enough for me to pass it. So I'm like, all right, I haven't made a 3 in 2 months. I'm like, I need at least see one go in, and seeing that one go in kind of helped my confidence a lot. I love B-Man.
We got some other questions coming in here on let's see. The masked menace RJ Keane in the house. Batman and Penguin are natural enemies, so of course RJ is both of them. Let's see what else we got here. What is Donovan Dent's greatest strength, and how would you suggest limiting him? Question from Sky about tomorrow night's game. Donovan Dent.
He's a slasher that's a playmaker too. He's very unique. He actually came on a visit here, and I got to know him for a couple days, and he's a good kid. And just stopping him, getting to the rim, and make sure he makes the play that won't kill us. I mean, what do you have, 31 against us last year? And it felt like he got to the rim whenever he wanted. Just try and take that away from him, and just playing our game and staying in front of him, playing just guarding him.
I don't think a lot of people know that, RJ. I don't know when the timing was and all that, but I heard that story about Donovan Dent. He could have been in the blue and orange.
Yeah, I think he committed, and then he just pulled it off last minute.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story about that, but he did.
Yeah, neither do I. I didn't really dive in. I think someone
Boise
told me
State
that.
was recruiting Donovan Dent, Johnny. I don't know if you ever knew that or not, but I think he did. As RJ said, came on a visit. So you were his host, or you hung out with him?
Yeah, hung out with him.
They always have RJ host. It's funny. Every time there's like a recruiter here, oh, yeah, he's with RJ. I'm like, well, okay, everybody's hanging with RJ on these
recruiting they get bored.
trips.
They don't know what to do with them. They're like, all right, let's take him to the entertainment factory. And I went to B-dubs with them, and I'm trying to think what else I did. I don't know. I'd probably just hang low, watch some sports, talk ball.
Is this, it's probably one game at a time for you, RJ, but I know you're a sports fan. I know you follow sports. I know you look ahead. You do what sports geeks do. You look at schedules and whatnot. How are you, if you're being the Signature Roofing Mountain West basketball analyst right now, how do you assess this league, and where do the Broncos kind of fit into it?
This is one of the most unique years of Mountain West play since I've been here. I'm in as you said, the Tyson Degenhart era. That's my era. And I got to see a lot of good hoops in the Mountain West. And you saw last night, UNLV just bounced Utah State. And this is going to be interesting. It's a battle. Every night, like, you can't look ahead. Like, as an analyst, you can. But, like, as a person in the program, you cannot look ahead because some team like UNLV will come out there and beat you. I think they're 10-7 now. And you cannot look ahead. I know we play Colorado State on Wednesday. My dad will be there. I can look ahead of that, give him tickets and everything. But nice. New Mexico in the pit, no, your whole focus is on that. And then we'll have a day off. We'll regroup, and then we'll go get whoever we play next, which I think is Colorado State. Then we go to Nevada. I think I know the whole schedule like the back of my hand. But as an analyst, I think this is a unique year for the Mountain West because it's a little tighter. It's not really a 6-bid league. I think it's pushing 2 to 3. And we all know that because we see the metrics. We see the numbers. And that means we have to play harder, and we can't take a day off and lose one that we can lose.
Yeah, especially when you have a game like San Diego State that you at home that you give away, and then the Utah State game. And do you kind of look at the remaining opportunities here and say, in terms of quad 1 wins, at large bid, whatever? Like, like you said, it's one game. You don't want to put too much on it, but you guys are aware, obviously, a win would be massive for you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's our goal going in there. We got to go win, and I think it's a toughness game. Playing the pit's not easy. It's one of the best atmospheres in college basketball. I think I was watching New Mexico play someone else earlier in the year, and they had like the pit in the rankings of like sporting venues. It's like 13th or something like that. And it's fun. Like, that's what you live for. It's where you shoot in the driveway when you're 6th grade, 5th grade. This is the venues you live for. I think all of our dudes are bought in, and we're excited. It's college basketball. It's the best time of the year, and we love it. And
what are your thoughts on Snake?
Me too.
Leon loves him. I think Max told me like Leon got him like a job. He like or something like that. And he's part of it. I know they have like mixed emotions. I'm on social media. Like, I can see it. I read everything. I know there's like some mixed emotions about him, but I think he's just, a super fan that loves his team.
He'll be there waiting when you get off the bus tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really worried. I've seen him the last 4 years.
RJ, where's RJ Keane in 8 years, 9 years, when probably a basketball career professionally is over? What do you think you're doing?
I have no idea. Leon always says like, I'm going to be like the next Pat McAfee. Yeah. And he wants to be the Chuck Pagano that comes on the show every like Thursday. I fly him out. That's what he wants. He talks about that
out like Uncle Chuck. Yeah.
He talks about that every day. I could see
He's so good at that.
Yeah. I could see that. Like, if I like make a little name for myself over the national things in the next couple of years, just think I'm only a sophomore. I still got 2 years of ball left. But 8 years, hopefully I'm in the business industry, working my tail off, raising a family at that point. I don't know, 8 years. I think I'll be 30. And at that, I mean, shoot, 8 years.
I was thinking like Corn Ferry Tour or something.
I mean, that would be not ideal with my golf swing. My golf swing is either I'm hitting it 330 dead center, or it's either 270 in someone's window on the right side of town.
we saw Caitlin Clark just take somebody out during that pro-am. That'd be the RJ Keane tee shot there.
Yeah. I don't really get nervous on the tee. It's just I have no idea where it's going sometimes. I didn't play that much golf this summer because Leon told me that I can't golf until I like prove myself. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym a little bit more, and then I play a little less golf this summer. So I feel bad for the Timberstone guys because I wasn't out there that much, and they're like, "Where are you? You ghosting us?" I'm like, "No, I got to be in the gym a little bit more." You know,
Kelly always hitting you up, man.
Yeah,
Speaking of golf, Max wants to know the most underrated golf course in the area, in your opinion.
I mean, it's 100% Timberstone.
Nice.
Like if I golf, I go out there. Drive's easy, just hop on the highway, hit the Caldwell. I think it's exit 27 or something like that, and head right there. And best people in town. I love them to death. Like I talk to them almost every day, and they're good people.
Nice.
All right, final couple questions here coming in for RJ Keane via the Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Greg Meyer says 9 p.m. game tomorrow night. RJ, what do you guys do all day to prepare for a game that late?
Oh, I actually forgot I was at 9, but we're kind of used to that. We get the 9 p.m. slot at UNLV a couple times. I mean, we had an 8:30 game against UNLV last Tuesday, right?
Yep.
I
Is
think
it different on the road though? All you can do is sit in your hotel room all day. I mean, you guys have shoot around, you have film, you still do stuff, but you do get some downtime, right?
Yeah, we definitely get some downtime. It's gonna be different because it's a Friday. Normally Saturday there's sports on all day, so you get to watch that. Yeah, we'll lay low. You would sleep in. We go to watch some film, eat a good breakfast, go to shoot around, come back, probably have a smoothie waiting for us, pound that thing, then take a nap. Me and Tyson are roommates on the road. He'll take his pregame nap. I'll take mine unless the Texans are on, and then I'll watch the Texans. But I'll take my pregame nap. We'll go back down, watch some more film, pregame meal, come back and lay down for like another 2 hours, and just watch film. Tyson in the Utah State game, I think he watched film for 4 hours that night.
Damn.
And I'm like, I'm kind of trying to sleep, and this dude, he doesn't really have that much feel with him. And it's on full volume. It is on full volume. And I'm like, I'm looking over, and he's like, "Ken, look at this thing. This is what we got to do." I'm like, "All right, Tyson,
Nice.
we can watch this in the morning. We can watch this in the morning."
Is this on the TV or his tablet? Like
His tablet.
Okay. Do you guys watch the TV in the room, or you guys both have your own tablet? Like if you're watching the Texans, is it on the TV there?
Yeah, but the only problem is I was during his pregame nap, so I had to turn it down I had to turn it all the way down. And this was when we were driving down the field. And I'm like, CJ just ran off for a 35-yard run, and I'm trying to be quiet. Like, that's a hard thing for me to do.
Totally.
And you get the star player in the Mountain West trying to take a nap, so I had to play it cool. And he woke up, and the Texans, made, 2 drives. He's like, how are they winning? I'm like, Daggy, we're the best team in the NFL. That's how we're winning.
I think you guys hang with the Chiefs this week. I do. 8.5 feels like a lot for me there, RJ. The Patrick Mahomes hasn't thrown a pass since Christmas Day. It feels a little bit. You remember this very well when Deshaun Watson went in there and was kicking the Chiefs' stinking ass up like 20-0, and they lost that game. I think your Texans might have a shot on this thing. I'm not immediately eliminating them, thinking the Chiefs are going to roll.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're banged up. Hopefully Shaq Mason's coming back, or left guard. He's practicing today. We're missing Petrie. We're missing Ward. We're missing Hank Dell. We're missing Stephon. But as a fan, it's like we had nothing to lose. I know BJ's a little Chiefs guy, and I know.
Bandwagoner.
Yeah, I know. Kansas
I actually
Jayhawks.
think this will be closer than the 8.5.
Yeah, every game
I do too.
is.
I'm not quite sure the Texans have enough to go in there and win it, but I don't think I would not bet the Chiefs on this game. No chance. I think this is gonna be a close game. We saw what happened to those teams that had the month off going into the college playoffs. I think this might be a little bit too much of a layoff for the Chiefs here. We'll see, but
yeah, look at that. I got the exclusive.
Nice.
You got one.
Yeah,
Those things are sick.
I worked out a deal with a friend of mine on the team. I traded him something, and I gave me the hat.
How cool are you guys? Like the Hoopers and the
They were selling
What'd you
some
say?
at the Fiesta, but they were like knockoffs. They weren't the same one. They weren't as nice. They didn't have the rope or the logo on the side.
Yeah, shout out to Colt Fulton. I gave him a pair of shoes, and because
There
he
you
wanted to
go.
go play pickup basketball, and he goes, "You want my Fiesta Bowl hat?" I'm like, "Of course." He goes, I would have got you cleats, but I'm like, I don't see myself chopping off on the turf anytime soon.
Does anybody on the team have anything cool from Genty? Shoes, jersey, wristband? If you guys are trading back and forth, like did him and Tyson do a jersey swap? Anything you heard on Genty dirt you can give us, man?
I don't think we got any merch from him. I know he comes to our games a couple times, but I don't think anyone did a swap. I mean, I know his roommates pretty well. I mean, I don't really, we just don't hang out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hang out with like Colt Fulton, like Ben Ford, like those dudes. And
I like Colt Fulton. He's cool, man.
yeah, he's
I got to know him a little bit. He's a good dude.
Keane, there's been a big talk lately about the how you guys are chartering more the last year or two now to some of these road games. I know, like in the past, when a lot of fans would use that as an excuse when you guys would lose a game or something, and later in the season, and they would talk about all the commercial flights adding up over the course of the year, and people like, oh, a charter flight in January doesn't help you win a game in March or whatever. But over the course of a season, man, like I got to do it. Like I'm getting to Albuquerque, I got to take a Southwest flight to Denver and take a layover, and like it just takes way more time and sit there in 3 different airports and check your bags and get there way earlier. Like, what's it like now that you've been a part of both? And I know you guys had, there's a game or two. You've Cayman Islands still had to deal with commercial and all that. So, like for today, when you guys get on that flight and get to go straight to Albuquerque, and then after the game, when you get to turn around and come right home that night, like over the course of a season, how much of a big deal is that for you guys?
I think it's the best luxury in sports. We have it. Chartering every conference game is like we're blessed. It's amazing. Like you don't understand the difference it makes. You get on that plane, we land in Albuquerque on the runway, and we're either at the dinner or we're at the hotel in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then right after the game, we shower, you get on that bus, you go right to the plane, and we're taking off. It's crazy. And you get
So
back.
nice.
Like the recovery time is it's so much better because, and also the leg rooms. Like you get legs fully extended on there, and dudes are not like cramping up. We have all the accessories. Like they give us water, they give us everything. It's so like it helps our recovery time. It helps. I'm trying like if we have like I'm trying to think if when do we play like a Saturday? It's like the San Jose to Wyoming. That's a good example where we have to get back and then we still have practice the next day and film. You don't feel like you just flew. You feel the road trips just feel so much less of a road trip. It feels like a bombing mission. It feels like we're just going there and we're back. It's kind of cool. I mean,
A bonding mission?
A bombing mission.
Yes, dude, that's a great way to put it. It's a mission.
Yeah.
It's a task. You're not
It is. It's not
sitting
like,
there at the airport, listening to the speaker, seeing kids running around with snot coming out of their nose and just everything else you got to do at an airport, getting on and off the plane. I've chartered too very, very few times. I know BJ has too. RJ, it's just first class the whole way. It is easy peasy. I didn't know you guys are doing that for every single conference game this year.
Every single one. It's
That's
ridiculous.
badass.
It's like,
Wow.
it's a bombing mission. Like, there's no distractions. You're going the plane, we're going the game, we're right back. Like, there's no like, oh, I have to go get Chick-fil-A at the Denver airport. Go get Shake Shack. No, you're not.
Hey,
thinking about
baggage
that.
claim. We got to get down there to get our
Yeah.
bags, RJ. No,
We
you're
got
not
some- we got
waiting
some
at
interesting
baggage
cats
claim.
on the team. Like, they don't know where baggage claim's at. And then all of a sudden we're losing like a couple dudes. It's like, oh no. Carter is right to the team bus. We got managers coming with us. They load the bags, and it's like your main focus is on the game.
Well, it's a big deal, and I know that's certainly been a nice boost for you guys. That'll be nice to get the straight shot down to Albuquerque. By the way, Tyler says, not going to lie, RJ, strike me as a missing class over missing BNN type of guy. Yesterday, we'll get this record straight. Yesterday, you chose class, correct?
Yeah, yesterday I did choose class, as I'd say, but I have a 9 a.m. today and at 10:30. But as we travel, and it's on my travel schedule. Like I don't have to go on travel days.
Nice.
How about that, Johnny? They don't travel till 3:00, but I got blasted.
Hey, you telling me I got my job in broadcasting first one? I was still a student at the University of Idaho when they hired me to be the women's play-by-play broadcaster. So I got excused from classes on travel days to fly to Hawaii to call a whack game between the Vandals in Hawaii. Like I got that stuff too, RJ, just as a broadcaster. This is a
Did
nice
you know
little
this,
luxury.
RJ, did you know that Johnny Mallory was the voice of the Idaho Vandals women's basketball team back in the day?
I had no idea. I mean, that's world-class announcing.
Yeah. How about this? RJ Keene crosses the timeline, finds Alvaro in the wing. Alvaro, dribble, drive, kick out, back to Keene in the corner for three. Got it. Boise State. Something like that. Pretty good, huh, BJ?
I'm sure the women's Vandals loved you back in the day. I'm sure they had a great crowd.
You had a player while he was shooting a free throw in Fresno at the Save Mart Center telling him to shut up because he was talking too loud. Nobody was at the game, and the girl shooting the free throw heard him talking, and he was distracting her.
Goodness.
Can you believe that? Well, you
probably
played at Event Center. You played there.
Goodness. Yeah, I mean, ball games voice echoes quite often, and it's the free throw lines. He's no feel when it comes to that. Women's game, we're probably packing like 50 to 100 people. It's a little library scene, especially, I don't know, the Idaho Vandals women's poll. But
yeah,
I think Mallory's voice is probably not the perfect time for a free throw.
Give us the lowdown on Signature Roofing, Keene. Why folks should why you're working with them, why folks should continue to check with them. I know I saw someone yesterday say that they were using them for their roof, and give those guys a shout out and let us know what kind of content you've been working on behind the scenes for them too. Yeah,
we actually have a really cool video coming out. We give $1,000 to students, like $100 bill. We had $100 bills to students. A video's going to come out soon. We just filmed it, and we had great reactions. Welcome back to campus. Here's $100. Students like, what? Like, what? Are you serious? It's a joke. And we gave away 2 MacBooks during Christmas. We gave away a bunch of Boise State gear during football games. It just pretty much, that sums it up of helping out the community. And I think Joel, Watts, Ben, all those dudes do a great job of making sure it's like a family environment. During the Christmas time, you know how many free roofs they gave out? They were doing something on their Instagram story every day trying to help out their community, as they would say, covering the community. And I would get your roof from them. They're great people. And I've been a little busy. I had the flu for like a couple days, a week during the Wyoming stretch, and then broke the nose. So I've been a little busy, but I'm glad we got the video out. And I really want to do the Shields video again, but with my mask on. I think that'd be kind of funny. And I think that'd be cool. They do know who I am, and I'm just wearing that. I got to produce a little bit more with the mask to pull that off. And I think that's very comfortable of me saying, as I probably need to have like a pretty big game to be doing that. And I think that's what's coming up next. We got like 4 videos planned over the next course of the next 2 months, and we're going to drop that one next week. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, great dudes. They did a thing too where they literally just went to a gas station around like Thanksgiving or something, and just basically just anyone that pulled up, Johnny, in the next 2 hours, they just paid for your gas, like on Thanksgiving. Like they just love helping out the community, doing small acts of kindness like that. And they don't even do they're not giving Keene the money or whatever to give to people so they can get the recognition for it or whatever. They just want the content for the videos, but they do a ton of that stuff behind the scenes that nobody ever sees. And they do a awesome job, tremendous stuff. And yeah, I need to get that gear from you, Keene. Maybe bring it down to Albuquerque.
Yeah, good. I know it's in a bag over the other room.
All right. Appreciate you though, Keene. Thanks again, Signature Roofing. Safe travels down there. Have a good practice today, and we'll see you at the pit.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Have a good day.
Let's get it, RJ.
Keene, Johnny, appreciate him. I know we're past your time, Johnny, as well. So sorry for going along with you there, but we'll add another $5 to the paycheck. Any final thoughts, Johnny, on tomorrow night's game, Mountain West, anywhere, RJ Keene, anywhere you want to go?
I'm liking the way this league is shaping up from an entertainment and media coverage standpoint. I think this thing's going to go to the final weekend, BJ. I think it's going to go into the final weekend where there might be 4 teams fighting for 3 spots, maybe 4 teams, maybe 3 teams fighting for 2 bids going in to the conference tournament. 2 months. It's right around St. Patrick's Day every year, March Madness, and it's the 16th of January. So in 2 months, we're ready for this thing. And I'll say this, I expect Boise State to be right there on Selection Sunday, hoping and maybe even expecting to see their name on a line for the 4th consecutive year. I do. If not, then they'll do the NIT thing, and you'll have to deal with them on BNN constantly, and that'll be a lot of fun for you. But before we do any of that, how about these Mountain West power rankings? What are you doing with this? You teased us at the beginning of the show, and now you're shaking your head. We're not going to get them.
I need to go to the pit tomorrow night first. I need to see New Mexico in person.
Okay.
I
just yes or no. Is Utah State number 1 right now? Can you give me that?
No.
You won't give it to me, or they're
Right
not
now,
number
I would
one?
no. Right now, I think New Mexico would be slightly ahead of Utah State.
Slightly. Okay. Yeah. I would probably agree with that too.
I mean, you do have Utah State winning. Utah State's got Boise State win, and they already won at San Diego State. But I need a little more time. But I think right now, if you need a top four, you just want a top four. That's all people probably care about. I'd probably go New Mexico, Utah State, San Diego State, Boise State.
Yeah, that's the four.
San Diego State just came into Boise and beat them. I can't really have Boise State ahead of them yet. I would probably have those four, and then Colorado State, Nevada. UNLV's got a nice win now. They're probably in
UNLV has to be ahead of Nevada. I know they look they look poor in Boise, but they're what, 5-2 in the league now, 4-2 in the league. BJ. I mean, they're kind of in the mix, but I don't buy them. I'm with you.
Yeah, I would. It's very close, but I would slightly have New Mexico ahead, and that has nothing to do with me not wanting to get heckled by fans going to the game tomorrow night. I just, I believe that. But Johnny, by the way, 2 months from today, March 16th is Selection Sunday.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah,
that puts it in a perspective. I like this time of year.
Today, Idaho Sports Talk 3 to 6. What do we got?
How about Davis Cutter, former Boise State wide receiver? He's been a GA for the Texas Longhorns the last 2 years. We're going to catch up, talk some CFP with Davis, having seen a lot of these teams, talk maybe some Arch Manning, Quinn Ewers, Texas, Boise State. So we'll have Dirk on Friday. We got Davis on today. So I'm excited to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously the CFP, Ohio State, Notre Dame, divisional round football. It's a Thursday. I can't wait to get to Friday because this is, BJ, this is a hell of a weekend coming up with the divisional round in basketball. Sign me up, man. And then Monday we got the Natty. Who you got, Ohio State or Notre Dame?
I'll be attending another game during the national championship. I'm actually kind of bummed about that.
You got a Meridian Select baseball game? No. BJ, I gotta go. Okay, I don't have time for this stuff. Come on, what are we doing? Oh yeah, you're going to the Blues game in Vegas.
Blues in Vegas. So that game will be over at about halftime of the championship game, but I'll still be able to monitor that.
That's cool.
But, I wish we had more time too, because I wanted to ask you about Kellen Moore getting screwed out of the Hall of Fame again. We'll maybe do that. Well,
you had me an hour. You could have asked at some point now, but that's a bummer, dude. Yep. Kellen can't get into that thing. 0 for 4 in. Yeah. One of these years, man. Let's hope. Kellen, I'm going to be with you. Kellen, I'm going to be with you every step of the way. He watches BNN, BJ. He loves it. Kellen, I got you, man.
Send me the Venmo request for going 15 minutes over today. I'll get it done for you, man. Appreciate you.
Maybe we can get Kellen to come to your golf tournament this year.
Will this finally be the year? Probably not. But
are you still offering to and from free private jet service for him? Like BJ's offered in the past. Tell Kellen ball game, I will fly the jet to pick him up and take him home.
That one time. I texted him that one time. Like, when else would you be able to offer a free private jet trip to somebody to come? And I sent it to him. And the day they had OTAs or something, the day didn't work out. But maybe
BJ's trying, guys. BJ was trying his ass off to get Kellen Moore to that golf tournament. He was even going to go pick him up in a jet.
I wasn't, but one of my sponsors was. I wasn't, but appreciate you, Johnny. 3 to 6. We'll be listening today. Idaho Sports Talk, best in the business. Johnny Ballgame, John Mallory. Appreciate him. And went a few minutes late, so apologize for that. But we had RJ Keane. We were having some fun. So Deion versus Kellen in Dallas. Man, if Deion Sanders went to the NFL, that would be something. But you would get no coverage on ESPN anywhere other than Deion Sanders and Cowboys Talk. That would be absolutely chaos if that were to be the case. But we'll have an earlier show tomorrow, by the way. I need to confirm the time with Tuss, but it may be 8 or 8:30, just so you know now. If you want to watch the show live, we'll be on earlier tomorrow, either 8 or 8:30, because I am flying to Albuquerque tomorrow. Don't love going day of the game, like to go the day before, but it works better for my schedule to go tomorrow. So I'm flying out tomorrow to Albuquerque. And so the show will be a little earlier tomorrow so I can get to my flight. But stay tuned. We'll let you know on social media. If you watch them on tape delay or whatever, it'll be up, 10, whatever, right after the show ends. It'll be up for you to watch anyway. But if you do like to watch it live at 9, heads up, may need to be 8 or 8:30 tomorrow. So it'll be a little earlier with Jay Tust on a Friday as I head to Albuquerque tomorrow night. So Jeff Grammer also going to join us. I believe tomorrow morning as well. Or we'll tape something and play it on the pregame show. He does his own pregame show now too. So a little tougher to get him on live. So we may do a kind of a joint interview that we'll both air at some point. I'm not sure. So yeah, not sure about that. We'll figure that out. But hey, appreciate you guys for checking us out today. Go subscribe if you can. We're going to give away that private jet trip here in a couple days. So your last couple of days, if you want to have a chance to win a private jet trip to Las Vegas for the game in February, the conference game on February 4th, a night at Circa, a night, 2 tickets to the game, dinner, steak dinner. It's going to be an awesome trip. You get to hang out with some cool folks. Make sure you subscribe now. BNN 50 deal. 1-year subscription at Bronco Nation News. And as a thank you to all of our subscribers, we pick a lucky winner every year and they get to go on a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. So I'm hoping that we get a good winner and have a good time. It's, totally random. So the person could be, not cool, or they could be really cool, or who knows. We've gotten really lucky both times so far. Never knew either person until the trip and got to know them and still stay in touch with both of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming up here in a couple of days. So your last chance to subscribe is right now and the next couple of days, and we'll pick that this weekend or early next week. So thanks to Jackson's. Again, Jackson's, $2. Today is the day. Today is the day. You get a hot dog, a soda, banana. You got to use the Let's Go Rewards app, but you can go to Jackson's today and get your hot dog and soda for $2, courtesy of the Broncos scoring 70 points the other day. It's 2 days after the game that they do this. So 2 days after the game, and that is today, Thursday. You can go get your Jackson's hot dog and soda today, and that's $2 with the Let's Go Rewards app. Make sure you take advantage of that today and get the Let's Go Rewards app, and then go on in there and tell them, and it'll be ready to go for you. So appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. BroncoNationNews.com. Help out our travel efforts. You'll have Bob and Abe on the radio side going down there, but nobody else other than Bob and Abe will be making the trip media-wise from Boise for this game. So you want to see exclusive pregame video of warm-ups, pregame interviews, post-game show, Coach Rice live video, Coach Rice interview. Don't say it to brag. I just say it to be honest. I'm the only one that's going to this game other than Bob and Abe on the radio side. So if you want to help support our efforts and allow us to keep doing this kind of stuff and these pre- and post-game shows, it doesn't maybe seem like much. Maybe it seems like a lot, but $50 one-time fee for the entire year. Help us out. You get a daily email, all kinds of content. We'd really appreciate you for that. BroncoNationNews.com is the website to go subscribe. You can read Mike Prater's columns, my work, Nathan Carroll's work, which is going up here shortly. His analytical numbers preview and his thoughts on this game against New Mexico, that'll be going up here shortly. And then, like I said, we're heading to Albuquerque. Get full coverage there, pregame, postgame, throughout the day tomorrow once we get to Albuquerque. So thanks to RJ Keane for joining the show. If you joined us late, you can go back and watch RJ Keane, get our thoughts on the Mountain West. Weird league, a lot of weird scores every night. You never know what's going to happen, but if you look at teams and the way they're trending, Boise State certainly trending in the right direction with how they've played the last 3 games, and New Mexico coming off a tough loss on the road, and we'll see how that all adds up tomorrow night at the Pit. Looking forward to getting down to Albuquerque tomorrow. So, and I'm actually taking my family. The Rains boys and my wife will be in attendance at the Pit. This will be the 3rd year in a row. I mentioned it. I've taken my kids to Las Vegas to watch the Blues Knights hockey game. We're doing it on President's Day, and they were going to meet me in Las Vegas after the game. And I was like, you know what? Why don't you just go a day early and skip a day of school and go see a game at the Pit on Friday night? Why not? So my family's never been to the Pit, and so taking the boys and my wife. So there will be at least three people there probably rooting for Boise State at the game there on Friday night. So the family is excited to get down there and see this one, and excited to show them the Pit, one of my favorite road venues in the league. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Thanks a lot. Again, early show tomorrow, probably 8 to 8:30 range is when we'll get started. I'll try to let you know on social media, but check early. And if you do miss the live show, you can watch the replay tomorrow as well. But we'll get you set for the matchup at the Pit with Jay Tust before we get on our flight and head down. So thanks a lot for joining us. Go subscribe if you can. Go support Jackson's, our title sponsor, of course, rowpaint.com. Appreciate all you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. Bronco Nation News live here at BroncoNationNews.com.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.